up, y'all? All net, all net, all net. With Mike Logic and Ideal. What up, y'all?
What up, y'all? What up, y'all? Indeed, it's Ideal. Want to thank y'all for checking in. This is the All Net Podcast, where we talk all things Chicago Bulls, win or lose. And tonight, unfortunately, that was the haps for the traveling team tonight. Been a while since we've seen y'all, but you know, good to be back. I was outside of the country, on the shores, swimming with dolphins. It's a hard life, but somebody's got to live it. But I did not turn my eye away from the Bulls while I was gone. I did not, man. And I'm excited to be here to talk all things Chicago Bulls, All Net Podcast with Mike Logic. How you doing tonight, Mike?
I just watched that display, that pathetic display that the Bulls put on. So I've been better, Ideal. But
you've been better. All right. Well, I mean,
glad to have you back.
Yeah, thank you for having me here. Y'all tuned in. I know you guys probably saw if you were watching the game, the Bulls dropped 110 to 124 to the New Orleans Pelicans. Levine with 25, DeRozan with a high of 28. Unfortunately, that moves the Bulls' record on the year to 6-9. It's if the playoffs were to, it's early, but if the playoffs were to start, they might be peeking in or maybe trying to get one of them LeBron James invitations to the thing.
Shout out to everybody tuning in. We have Jordan Cruz out there saying trade everyone. He is waving the white flag. He's on a 10 right now when it comes to concern.
I see. We got to talk him off the ledge. I mean, it's only been 15 games. It's not a whole season yet, Mr. Cruz. I appreciate the passion. Anytime you want to come in here and sit on the sofa, you can. We'll just slide right on over this way and have you take a hot take.
Yeah, we'll make room for you.
Well, let's get into it then, Mike.
Yeah.
What's your level of concern?
Oh, I'm very concerned right now.
Really?
Yeah, because this is, and I know it's early in the season, but I really feel like the Bulls have to do some soul searching already. They have to figure out what their identity is going to be.
As I alluded to, 15 games in the season, and I think this is probably about the second or third time or fourth time so far in the young season where I kind of seem like they literally were not interested in playing.
This was the point I was about to make. Soul search. Figure out your identity. Are you going to be a team that comes out every game and gives max effort, or are you going to be a team that picks your spots and come out lackadaisical and basically get your ass beat and always have to come from behind? And it's an effort thing, Ideal. It's an effort thing.
Jordan Cruz saying hot garbage. They're playing with no balls, literally. And
Lonzo, where you at, dog?
Things were going good until you put that jersey on your body, and it's like it was almost a harbinger of things to come since Mr. Glass had picked it up.
Oh man, we can use Lonzo Ball right now. So let's get right to it. Like, we're talking about effort. The Bulls gave up 51 points from the three. The Pelicans are a team that can really get hot from behind the arc, and the Bulls allowed them to. How many?
They shot 51 from the percent.
They shot 51%, and they also
51 threes. It's gonna get crazy.
I'm saying they had 51 points off threes, and
okay.
they shot 51%. You know, ironically enough or coincidentally enough. But like I said, uncontested shots going underneath the screens, it's an effort thing. Defense is always going to be an effort thing. And they let Trey Murphy just do whatever the hell he wanted to do. He went 5 for 6 from the three. I mean, look at their starters. Ingram 2 for 4 from the three. Herbert Jones 2 for 2. Valanciunas, your guy Valanciunas 2 for 3. CJ McCollum went 3 for 8. Nothing great, but Trey Murphy 5 for 6, 19 points, 7 for 9 from the field. I mean, they let the Pelicans have their way with them. The Bulls offered zero resistance.
You know who didn't look too interested either for me today? Vooch. And I think it shows because he got outplayed in all intents and purposes by my guy that gets called the truest, run around these dudes like I'm Carl Lewis. I'm the truest to do it. Y'all get called the truant.
It was
catch me on the block like I'm Valanciunas.
Sorry to cut you off. It was not a good day for Vooch. He went 14 points, 10 rebounds, 6 for 13 from the field. I also felt like they didn't look for him enough. DeMar and Zach, have a tendency to do that, and Vooch kind of gets lost in the weeds. And his defense is sometimes predicated by his offense, how well he's doing on offense. But more concerning, Patrick Williams, 5 points. Ayo DeSumo, 4 points. I never want to see Alex Caruso outscore any of those guys. Caruso had 13, 3 for 4 from the 3. And it's still got to click for Pat. Like, Pat has to realize his team needs him to score. They don't need huge offensive numbers from him every night. But 5 points, dog, that's it. You have 5 more points than me and Ideal.
And 23 more minutes.
You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. We got anyone out there talking out there? Anyone got your bold thoughts? I know Jordan Cruz is hot.
He wants to sell everyone.
He's steaming mad right now.
He wants the Risers to sell the team, too. Oh, I don't know, man. It's been a rough go of it for our Bulls lately. They hit a little bit of tough stretch, huh?
You know what? If the starters and the second string are not going to get effort, then put Dalen Terry in, because you know you're going to get effort from him. I'm ready to see Dalen Terry. If we get more effort like this and more showings like this, roll with the young guy. Someone who's going to go out there and bust his ass, because he's fighting for minutes. Pat Will, 5 points. Come on, man. We need a little bit more.
I agree with you on that. Bulls fall to the Pelicans 124-110, moved to 6-9 on the season. And that's now, what would you call that, 1-2-3 game losing streak?
They've lost 5 of the last 6. So you asked me, I'm going to ask you, what's your level of concern, even after 15 games in this short, young season?
Effort, for one, is going to be one of my concerns. It's been too many times. I don't recall last year any real nights where I was just disappointed in the way they just looked like they didn't look like they didn't want to be there, or they wanted to be there that night. And this season so far, I've seen a couple times, and it dictates itself during the outcomes of these games.
Billy Donovan, too, he might be a concern. Is he a good coach, or does he just appear to be a good coach? Because I don't know about his adjustments, man. I don't understand how they let this team get so hot from behind the arc. I just, some of that's coaching, some of that's effort. I don't like all his rotations. He continues to put Caruso on Brandon Ingram for some reason. Caruso's going to get torched almost every time. Brandon Ingram didn't have a great offensive game today. He had 16. But you remember what happened last time they played the Pelicans? Caruso can't guard Brandon Ingram. Now, I know Billy Donovan, he's doing what he can with what he has.
Is there anything to be said about a couple of these disappointing losses that you're seeing? They're coming against Western Conference teams that are expected to compete.
Yeah. And the thing we haven't mentioned, Ideal.
So there is like some pause, or like what?
Yeah. I mean, the West is tough, but we also were talking about how much better we thought the East was going to be.
The East ain't all that.
It looked like they were stacked. But yeah, as far as
it's a whole mush between the Hawks at 3 at 9-6 and the Bulls at 6-8. I mean, it's not really much at the 11th currently. So it's all mixed up right now. I think there's a lot of teams other than the Bucks and Celtics that aren't really doing much with themselves. So it is what it is at the moment.
The other thing we didn't talk about is Zion Williamson didn't play this game.
Oh,
and they still lost by 14.
And they still got beat up on the inside, huh?
So yeah, I'm concerned. I'm definitely concerned. I'm really hoping Lonzo Ball comes back. That's
a long way off, dude. We're like in the second week of November, and pie in the sky.
Come on, Lonzo.
Best bet. He's not coming until maybe maybe
after All-Star break,
end of January.
Yeah, I know.
So you gotta figure out something else if that's all your plan is. If you're in the huddle.
I don't know what else I really don't know what else they. If they're not going to show effort, none of this is going to matter. Like a player of Lonzo's caliber, he's going to show effort. He's going to fight over screens. He's also going to be close to a 40% 3-point shooter, something they could definitely use right now.
Jordan Cruz got here fired off. He says,
he's welcome to come here and get on the mic and air out his grievances.
Billy Donovan doesn't have an offense. He rode the coattails of Russell Westbrook and KD. Billy sucks. He's saying Lonzo Ball's not playing at all this year. He's calling it.
Oh man, he's about to turn into the Chicago Bulls fandom. The fan card is about to get turned in.
You know, I was realized sitting there, and I was like,
he was disgusted watching this.
We were very excited about the way our team was constructed and whatnot. But at the end of the day, I don't know. Levine don't look like he got that extra rise in him. There's so many times I can't recall in recent history where he's not finishing at the rim so much. It's happening more and more often.
And I'm
getting this thing blocked too.
I'm trying to tell people we need to be patient with Zach because he is coming off. Regardless, surgery is surgery. Procedures are procedures. Medical procedures, surgery wise. So there is going to be a little bit of a waiting period until he gets that burst back. He's just going to have to play through it. He does not look like the Zach. He does not look like All-Star Zach. He definitely looks like he's trying to force his offense at times with bad jump shots because he can't get he's not getting to the rim and finishing like he used to. Hopefully by All-Star break, when Lonzo comes back,
is out here living on a prayer and hope.
Zach's bounce comes back. I think it will. We saw him dunk the ball today in traffic. His three ball started to fall a little bit, but he's still forcing his offense. He doesn't need to do that.
Bad shots, bad turnovers from Jordan Cruz. I agree with him. There was a lot of one possession shot, one shot possessions where it's like one look, and that first look is the first option, and it's going like, let's move the ball around, let's get some motion in the offense, and that's alarming.
I also think we have to be realistic about what this team is and our expectations for this team. Are we expecting them to get out of the second round of the playoffs? Honestly, ideal. Are you expecting?
That's what I was literally talking about earlier. I mean, if you start thinking about it, the way this team was constructed, maybe we just got a little too high on the juice that I'm sipping on over here.
Their best player is almost 35. He's closer to 35 than he is to 30.
The window on this team is closing rapidly every game, almost like you're saying, with DeRozan being almost 35.
Yeah, I mean, he's still playing at a high level, but how long can he do that for, and how far can that get the Bulls?
Jordan says they need to get out of the first. I mean, that's the next step, but I mean, the next year he's coming back 36. What market improvements do you see coming down the line other than, I guess, just the addition back of Ball, maybe?
The Mars game is timeless. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. The point is, we need to just see better defensive effort from this squad. They have the talent to win games. They should not be getting beaten by 14 points by a team that is Zion Williamson-less.
Tonight was one of those nights where I said, damn you, Mike Logic, for making me do this.
We didn't even talk about the Nuggets blowout. That was terrible. Michael Porter Jr. went off. Joker had 8 points, 14 assists. Once again, it's effort, and the Bulls are lacking it, and some of it may be in part due to coaching.
Oh, speaking of coaching, there's always moves behind the scenes. On Friday, the Bulls take on the Orlando Magic at home, and I would bring that up because the Vooch trade with a couple picks going the other way, Wendell Carter Jr. How do you think that's looking to you now, Mike? We've gone about 2 years since that trade almost.
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather have Vooch than Wendell Carter. Still, Wendell Carter's playing much better in Orlando than he did Chicago because he's not in a big market. But talking about and previewing this Orlando Magic team, this is a team that's fighting for wins. So if the Bulls think that this team's going to come to United Center and they're not going to put up a fight, all I'm going to say is the Bulls better come out with effort. Now, I don't know if Paolo Banchero's playing. He's been out for, I think, 4 games.
What's wrong with him?
Sprained ankle. He's been absolutely killing.
That'll do it to you.
Franz Wagner.
Wagner.
He's a really good young player.
That was one of the picks they used to get.
To your point, yeah. Franz is probably going to have a better career than Vooch, I'll say.
I don't say it is so.
I'll say that he looks very, very good. He's better than I thought he would be. Jalen Suggs is a nice player they got out of Gonzaga.
Mm-hmm.
Bol had a very, very good game their last game. So they have a lot of young talent. So like we're talking about, effort. Just come out, spank this team like you're supposed to. This is a 4-11 squad, I believe, the Orlando Magic are.
You are correct with that.
So handle your business. Leave no doubt.
Oh, that's us right here. Johnny's checking and he's saying, fire Billy. This must be a friend of Jordan Cruz as well.
What's up, Johnny? Thanks for checking in.
Yeah, appreciate you, Johnny.
Johnny, what is your biggest problem with Billy Donovan, other than the Bulls are losing? That's what we would like to know. What is your guys' biggest problem with Billy Donovan? If you feel like I do. I don't necessarily think Ideal feels that Billy Donovan is a problem. I haven't really talked to him about it off air.
You look at it a lot of times, too. The shots aren't falling either. So at the end of the day, I could draw it up in the best X and O's if you can't go out there and execute for me. So
yeah, obviously when they get Kobe White back, he's gonna be able to help a little, but he's not gonna fix everything.
I forgot to mention that. I did want to say that his shooting, it's certain points in the game where you really need his shooting to stretch that court, the court out.
He's that shot in the arm.
Johnny wants to see them play the rookie. I'm sure he's
Thank you, Johnny. He's talking about Dalen Terry.
Terry.
Yeah, we're on the same page there.
And whose minutes are you taking off of there then?
If Isle's not giving me anything, like tonight, Isle didn't really give him anything. I'm taking Isle's minutes.
Those 4 points, that wasn't gonna get it done for
4 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. One assist in 28 minutes of play.
It's a lot of minutes for a lot of production.
Javonte Green didn't need 15 minutes to only score 3 points. I mean, he did have 4 rebounds, whatever. Javonte does what he does. You can probably steal some minutes from Derrick Jones. He had 11. He had 0 points. So, I mean, if they're not giving you anything, then try out Dalen Terry. Because Dalen Terry, as soon as he gets that ball, it seems like he wants to do something with it. And it doesn't look like he's going to hurt you or try to hurt you, try to do too much. You know, he's a young player. He's going to make his mistakes. But he gives you effort.
Johnny's saying Patrick Williams is not playing good.
The last couple of games, no, he's not.
Now, you could argue that defensively,
yes, thank you, Ideal.
There's a whole other side of the other half of that court, and he's taken on arguably the best scorers on every team every night.
Yeah, we want to have our cake and eat it too. We need Patrick Williams to score 12 to 14 points per game. That's I don't think that's asking too much of him, especially when Vooch only has like 14 points in a game. This could be Patrick Williams, time to shine.
He's got all the tools under the belt that you need. It's just wondering sometimes is there dog in him?
That's the question.
I need to see a little dog where it's just, you know what? It's my turn. I'm gonna take it, and I'm just better than
you know what pissed me off, and I don't know if you saw this play or not. He got a great rebound, and he took like one dribble. He's in the center of the court, headed to the basket. He took like one dribble, and then he passed it to DeMar, and DeMar wasn't even close to being able to grab the ball. Patrick Williams could have advanced that ball himself, and it seemed like he was, for whatever reason, he had a hot potato, and he needed to get rid of it. So, I mean, that's part of being a dog, understanding that. Why can't I dribble the ball up the court? You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely agree.
So
and I believe they do want him to do that more because he pushes the tempo.
He's a fine ball handler.
Yeah.
Why not? Yeah.
Why not?
He's fast. He doesn't really turn over the ball too often. Or too much to where it's like, God, Patrick.
If you're joining us, the Chicago Bulls dropped to 6-9 on the season, losing to the New Orleans Pelicans 110 to 124. In an effort that we are not too happy about, and the people checking in, Johnny and Jordan, we appreciate you guys giving your comments, giving us your takes, and letting us know how you feel. I would be remiss if I did not take shots at Mike Logic and his love for his other team on the West Coast, as always. So before we get out of here, what is up with your man LeBron out there talking about he needs to take some acting? He gets to take acting lessons or something, and he's got to learn how to flop better?
Like I said, y'all complain about him not knowing how to act. I thought that was a great job of acting. He knows damn well that he flops.
Apparently, if that was the case, that was the best acting I've ever seen from him.
I thought it was satire. That's how I.
Is that what it was?
That's how I read it. I thought it was satire. I laughed. I chuckled.
How your Lakers doing on the season? I know you tell me all the time about when you and your papa would drive down the 10 and go to the Great Western Forum. How they looking this year to you?
they've been
trash.
they've
like
been
usual.
disappointing. I couldn't even tell you what their record is right
Poor
now.
Mike, you've been watching a lot of trash basketball lately.
Yeah, I gotta find better ways to spend my time.
I'm telling you, today was one of those days where I was not happy with my logic as I was watching this poor, pathetic Bulls performance.
And then we had to go talk about it.
It's all good, though. We had a good time. We want to thank y'all for tuning in. This is the All Net Podcast. On behalf of Mike Logic, I'm Ideal. Shout out to the affiliates that we have out there. Shy Native, True Chicago Sports Fans, and 606 Media. What we do, we could not do without you. Until the next time, I think we're going to check y'all out on Friday. This is the All Net Podcast.
All net. All net. All net. What up, y'all?